see lots of people speaking about crazy numbers that they make from their AI automation agency. The question is, how profitable is it really? Let me walk you through the realistic costs, margins, revenues, and profits from all of the different models within this AI agency realm. So guys, let's begin with myth number one. Myth number one is you do not want to focus on top line revenue. Yes, top line revenue is the only number that you can grow to infinity. However, you need to make sure you're optimizing along the way for profitability. Ultimately, in my agency, profit is what I measure. Top line is great, profit is what I measure. Now, you can't consistently cut costs because you can only cut costs to zero where you can grow revenue infinitely. Make sense? Now, if you have a high top line and a low bottom line, you're going to be running a really stressful business. That is, if you're turning over $100,000 a month of revenue and you've got 15 staff, you've got a stack of overhead with software, it's really easy, believe it or not, to have that business come down to like $25,000 a month of actual profit. By the time you pay payroll, if you've got, let's say 10 staff at $4,000 a month each, if you're hiring onshore staff, there's half of your profit gone immediately. If you're hiring offshore, 15 staff, you'll still run $25,000 a month, especially if you want to get good talent and keep it. You could even run up to $30,000 a month in this day and age. But it's about getting the right talent to deliver the outcomes. Now, the difference with an automation agency versus the agency model from 10 years ago, and I spoke about that in the last video, is automation should mean higher margins. So the goal of an automation agency, in my opinion, is to be running at least 50% net profit margin. That is, if you are doing, let's say $20,000 a month of revenue, you want to be running at least $10,000 a month of profit. Now, the caveat to that is your first $10,000 a month, you will probably run that at close to 80% margin because you'll most likely be the one doing most of the work. You'll get a client, you'll do most of the work, you'll only have a few small software costs, maybe no staff. When you scale up, you need to have staff to deliver work properly, to get the best talents, to deliver better outcomes, and ultimately to free you as a business owner. You cannot scale your business if you're the only one doing the work. So how does revenue typically flow into an AI automation agency? The first is setup fees and build. Now, a lot of people in this space will charge $3,000 to $5,000 as a setup for one thing. I was speaking with a guy recently from Germany who he was selling automations for $3,000 to $5,000. That's kind of his business. With like a $200, $250, sometimes $400 retainer on the back end. Not a bad business because there is a small retainer on the back end, and also because he gets paid up front in a large cash amount. For me, I like focusing more on long-term revenue. So I like building retainers. Now, retainers enable you to kind of keep consistent cash flow to build your business predictably. It takes stress off sales and also enables you to actually deliver consistently and build a nice relationship with a client. Now, one of the ways that I've structured deals in one of three ways. The first way is here's a setup fee, which is a deposit based on a performance backend. So I did a deal recently where I received $5,500. Each sale that business generates, I'm going to get $1,100 of commission from, and the $5,500 was a prepaid commission against the sales. My numbers say we'll be doing 20 to 25 sales a month with that business, and I'll run probably a 70% margin on that. So because I'm at the stage in the career that I'm in now, I can take these performance-based deals. If you're just starting out, if you're not really certain that you're great, firstly, always get a deposit. I don't do a performance-based deal unless I get a deposit that is non-refundable against future commissions. So I need to get something up front. They need skin in the game. I did performance deals for several years with no skin in the game. People don't take it serious. The second way I get paid, and this is probably where the majority of my work is this flat monthly retainers. I say I'm going to generate you X, whatever the outcome is, X number of leads, X amount of time saved, X amount of return on ad spend, whatever it is. I sell that and I get a monthly fee, anywhere from sort of $2 to $7 grand usually. The third way I structure things is I'm not a fan of setup fees. So what I do differently is I will do a 3-month sprint, and which is, hey, it's going to be 3 months to build this thing, and then it's going to drop to a lower monthly retainer to manage it. So I'm building a full inbound pipeline at the moment for a client. That client, they're in the investment space. It's probably as much detail as I can give. They're in the investment space. I have $15,000 a month for 3 months. So it's a $45,000 setup fee. Now, what that means is I'm going to deliver them a fully functioning system with all the deliverables for that money. Then after that, it drops down to $7,000 a month as a retainer to basically keep the whole thing running. Now, why will they pay me that retainer after I've built it and handed it across them? Because if I don't keep it running, someone in their team needs, and they either need to hire someone. To hire someone of that caliber will cost them $200,000 a year, or they can kind of hand it off to me as a fractional element to deliver it for them. Now, these deals, I'm probably going to run about 60% margin on by the time I hire people to build specific elements of it. So that's really the three models you can run for receiving money. You can run the setup fee and build model, where you basically deliver a system, hand it over to them, get a fee. You can run the monthly retainer model. You can run a revenue share model. And the monthly retainer model, you can either do a upfront sprint, and with the performance model, you can get a prepaid commission. That's really the models that I find are working best in this industry at the moment. So let's talk about costs of running an AI agency. Your main cost is going to be software. Now, your software is going to be your no-code builders like N8N, Make.com, things like that. You're going to have your lead generation software. So if you're doing cold email, it's going to be Instantly, it's going to be Apollo, it's going to be, if you're doing any scraping and enrichment, things like Clay, that's going to be really your sales acquisition costs. You're then going to have some small costs. You know, your website, are you hosting it? Are you building it with a no-code builder? How are you doing that? That's going to be a cost. You're going to have your CRM. Most people use Go High Level. I love Go High Level. I used Infusionsoft for years, which is now Keep. I use Salesforce, the Mac Daddy, the Rolls Royce of CRMs. Bit overkill. I love High Level. Been using it for 6 years. Fantastic CRM if you know how to build it. So that's going to cost you a couple $100 a month. And then you're going to have any staffing that you hire. Now, you can either hire freelancers for a project by project basis, or you can hire people full time. It really depends on how you structure your revenues and your deliverables. I use both. I use some specialized people part time. Like I've got a guy who's amazing at Clay, but only a few of our clients use Clay. So I hire him on a project by project basis, where a lot of our team that does technical stuff on websites, they're full-time staff, because I need that available at all times. And then the last cost is going to be your own time. Your own time has a cost. And as an entrepreneur and as a business owner, you need to associate a real cost to this. So you need to sit back and go, what is your time worth if you did a traditional job in this space? So here in Los Angeles, if you are a mid-level marketing manager, you'll get $85,000 to $100,000 a year. That's kind of the going salary. So if you're doing those sorts of tasks at $85 an hour, you're running about $40 an hour. 85,000, so you're running about $40 to $50 an hour. Now in your own business, because you've got costs, you need to mark that up at least threefold, if not fourfold. So you should be doing, in order to run a profitable business, $150 to $200 an hour is what you should basically be working your time at once you're building into the business phase. And I'm going to shoot another video in a few days about how to go from 0 to 10 and 10 to 30, because it's two totally different approaches to your mindset about business. From the 0 to 10K a month range, you're going to focus on your hourly rate to be between $50 and $100 an hour if you're beginning. And then beyond that, you need to look at it as a business. So I'll cover that all in a separate video. Now, as an example, if you're a solo AI agency, which you're really a solo freelancer, but we're going to call it an AI agency. If you're in the solo phase, which is really the 0 to 10K month range, you should be making about $7,000 to $8,000 a month profit off that. And you should be working about 20 to 30 hours a week. If you're in the small team phase, which is that sort of 10 to 30K range, you'll have a team of maybe 2, maybe 3 freelancers you work with. You'll be starting to get clients at scale. From that 30, you'll probably make about 20,000 in profit. So your margins start shrinking. When you get over $50,000 a month, you will see those margins start shrinking down to like that 50% range. You get over $100,000, the margins will start shrinking into the 40% range. Over $150,000, usually those margins start shrinking to the $30,000 range. So there is a sweet spot in agencies to find what works for you in the lifestyle you have. The pro of over the $150,000 range is that $50,000 of profit will mean you're down to probably 3 hours a day of work, because most of the business is systemized. You'll have salespeople, you'll have delivery people, you'll have client managers. It's kind of systemized, and then you can kind of scale that up. So you could grow to $500,000 a month and make $150,000 of profit and do still the 2 hours a day. So there's different challenges at different phases of this business model. So how do you increase your profitability? What are the levers that you can pull to boost your profits in this business? The first is productizing offers instead of doing custom work. Like, I do not do custom work unless it's a very big check, because it takes a lot of time. Now, what you want to do is you want to sell a series of items, kind of like a menu of what your services are, and have workflows around that. That systemizes things so you can deliver it quicker, which boosts your profits. That comes down to reusing workflows and assets, because it becomes something you refine across all your clients. That's the other level. And then what you want to do is, once you've built these workflows, once you know they work, once you've got proven results and some case studies, then you want to start upping your price, because your price is connected to a return on investment. And if you can prove that, if you can put a guarantee on it, then you can start structuring your deal so you can charge 2, 3, 4 times more than you did at the beginning when you were untested. Because ultimately, when you're untested, people are taking a gamble on getting a cheap cost, but without any guaranteed upside, where people are happy to spend more with a guaranteed upside. So when you're starting out, I highly recommend you start engineering from profit from day one. That is, you want to start narrow. Start with 1 or 2 services that deliver a specific pain point. Don't start with an entire menu, because that requires having people and skills and software to deliver it. Start very narrow, do 1 or 2 offers, deliver those, refine those, increase the prices for those. that's one thing you can do to scale your profits at the beginning. Also, don't stack tools you don't need. I highly recommend putting everything on one card, one debit card, one credit card, ideally PayPal, because PayPal makes it really easy to cancel subscriptions in one place. And every month, go through your line items and go, did I use it? Did I use it? Did I use it? If you didn't use it that month, just cull it. You can always sign up again. Now, if you're stacking tools, if you're stacking Instantly and Smartly and Lemlist and Clay and n8animate.com, yeah, you're gonna have builds in all of them, but you probably don't need them all. So keep things tight. And then ultimately, you need to make some decisions. What does a healthy profit look like to you? What is your outcome from this business? Do you wanna build a $10,000 a month agency and make $7,000 in profit and just go and relax on a beach somewhere? Do you want to build a $100,000 a month agency, make $40,000 a month in profit, and work a fair bit in order to provide a really great life for your family? These are the strategic decisions you need to make depending on the phase of life and everything else that's going on. So guys, I really hope this video has been helpful. When I started my agency, this sort of content wasn't available. Everyone would talk about lead gen or about what to sell. And this is going back over 10 years. Since then, I've done 8 figures in sales, and I'm here to help you guys grow. So any questions, any videos you'd love to see, drop them in the comments below and subscribe if you enjoy it. So guys, that's it. I'll see you in the next video.